Bail in California and Ventura County changed in 2022 because a case called Peeble versus Humphreys was ruled upon by the high courts. And what this case talks about is everyone has a right to bail they can afford in California. However, there are some things that also went with that case that now give the people, the prosecution, an advantage over you if you're accused of a serious crime. On the good side, if you're accused of a crime that doesn't involve violence or severe harm or potential of severe harm to another person, you should be entitled to bail as a matter of right. For example, in California, if you're on bail or if the bail amount is set for $20,000, typically a bail bondsman will bail you out for $2,000 you pay to them. If you actually have 20,000 real dollars to pay yourself, you can bring that to a cashier with a cashier's check to the front desk of the jail, and they'll take it from you. But if you miss one court date, they take your cash bail and you don't get it back. With a bail bond, while you lose the $2,000 or whatever it costs that you gave the bail bondsman, they can issue another bail bond for free to let you back into court and keep you out of custody if you don't show up. So bail has its advantages over paying cash bail. If you don't have the money to bail out immediately, one of the things that will happen is if charges are filed 2 days after your arrest, you'll appear before a judge. At that hearing, you can ask for a bail review. You get one chance for a bail review, and that's a chance to reduce the bail amount from whatever it's set at to a lower amount. Bail in California is typically set by a schedule. The judges in Ventura County will, every year or two, they will evaluate the levels of offense and decide whether robbery or drug sales or assault with a deadly weapon should have a certain bail amount, and they set that. The prosecution can ask for a higher bail, that's called a motion to increase bail, and we can ask for a lower bail. The factors that are looked at are whether or not you have a job, whether or not you've been a resident of the county for a long time, whether you're a resident of the U.S. in general, and other factors involving your criminal history and whether you failed to appear in the past. If you're deciding whether or not to post bail, there are several factors to consider. I like to think of it this way. It's a financial transaction. You're paying a certain amount of money to be out of custody for a certain amount of time. If you're completely innocent of the crime you're charged with, then bailing out makes 100% sense because you shouldn't spend another day in jail. If, on the other hand, you actually did what they accuse you of, bailing out is a monetary decision you have to make. Can I make enough money and take care of my kids or my wife or my spouse long enough to make it financially worthwhile to bail out and then go back into custody at the end of the case? Obviously, it's hard for you to know what the right choice to make is. You should contact a legal professional. I'm David Lear with Strongest Defense about the issue because we work with many bail bondsmen. We work with many bail companies. Some of them are great and wonderful, and others are pure thieves. And when you work with a great bail bondsman, they'll walk you through the process and we can help you find the right people. Additionally, we can help you assess whether or not this is the right case to bail out and whether it makes financial sense to do so, or whether it's better just to do your time now for free and then get out when the case is done and get your life back on track. Not every charge you face will allow for a bail bond to be posted. In general, there's a case that came out recently called Humphreys. The Humphreys case says that two issues are important. Number one, can the person afford the bail bond? And that's what Humphreys was about. But part two, that court told us that the primary purpose of bail is to protect the public. So if somebody's accused of a homicide, if someone's accused of an act of great violence, or acts of sexual violence or sexual offenses against adults or children, or some kinds of abuse of people, then the court has the right to not set bail. While it's rare in California to have a no bail setting, it does happen. Additionally, even when bail is set for cases involving drug sales or theft of large amounts of money from various things, whether through embezzlement or other kind of retail theft or organized retail theft, the court has the right for you to prove that you have got this bail money from a legal source before you can actually post a bail bond. We call it a 1275 motion. 1275 motions are filed in almost every drug case, and that will prevent lawful bail from being posted until you can prove the dollars come from legit sources. We've helped many clients get out of jail on 1275 holds because we know the process. We work with good bail bonds people who will guide us in the right direction and make sure we have the evidence necessary to present to the court so that if you want to bail out and you have the ability to do so, we can make it happen. So bail amounts in Ventura County are set by the bail schedule in general. You can actually see the bail schedule on the court website and type in the search phrase bail schedule, and it will show you the dollar amount for every single charge. It gets a little complicated when there's multiple charges. If the multiple charges involve theft or drugs or things like that, usually the bails don't stack. But for example, if you're accused of a robbery of two people and the bail schedule for robbery is $50,000 and there are two victims, it'll be 50 plus 50 for 100,000. Whereas if you stole from 100 different people and the bail amount's $20,000, it's not 20 times 100. It's a little bit of a tricky situation, but bail is generally set through the bail schedule and then modified by various rules that happen afterwards. If you're deciding whether or not to post bail and you need help with that process, please contact us at Strongest Defense. We have good bail bonds people, and we have good success rate in helping people get out of custody when they need to.